Also, Xilonen has been hurt by Iansan, if we're being honest. Like, there's one main team that I can point out to and be like, wow, that's a massive loss for Xilonen, right? And that is this team. This team, Iansan has taken the place of Xilonen. Now, even from what I'm hearing, C0R1 Xilonen, it's still like worse than a C6 Iansan. So that's pretty massive, honestly, right? However, it's a little more nuanced because it's not as simple as, oh, Fiorina isn't on as many best in slot teams anymore. And now it's more of like, well, do you want to run both Iansan and Bennett on a team? Because generally, that's what's gonna happen in order for Iansan to be better on a team, right? Like it would have to be like this. And also, your DPS has to move, right? It can't simply just be like, you could make an argument that Arlecchino plus Iansan not necessarily that great because you're not moving around a lot. Even me, I tried using Iansan with Arlecchino. Didn't really like it. I genuinely didn't. I wasn't really able to keep her buff up because you have to be moving around and Arlecchino wants stamina. So even, I would absolutely say Arlecchino, no. She did not get buffed by Iansan. I'm not making I will eventually make a signature, or specific video, but going off of it. But I would just say that. But a character like Chloride didn't really use Xilonen anyways. But a character like Chloride can very much so use Iansan. So basically, there are a lot of teams that Xilonen used to fit on, but, now she doesn't, right? And honestly, I'm kind of having trouble finding those. Maybe, no, because Nevi scales on HP. Huh. So is it really just Mavuika? I don't want to say something. I really came into this video being like, man, Xilonen got hurt massively. But, I really can't point to a character. I mean, maybe Milani, right? Maybe. Nope, Milani's an HP scaler. Did Xilonen actually get hurt that massively? I was really because of the Mavuika team, I was like, oh, man, huh. And also a load of people have told me or put in the comments oh, Xilonen's lost most of her best in slot teams because of Iansan. It's so sad. All those people who summon for Xilonen, and that's what I've seen a couple comments like that. However, I just don't see it. I think a lot of people were looking at Iansan's kit and being like, wow. But what they don't do is they don't realize that, half of these characters can't really make use out of Iansan because half of these characters do not move enough, right? Your character has to be constantly moving, right? Xilonen got hurt badly on the Mavuika team because now a 4-star is better off on her team. But I don't, chat, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see Zhao, maybe, but Zhao didn't use Xilonen. Verissa was never going to use, well, Verissa without Iansan might have used Xilonen purely because of just Bennett's ring being very annoying, so you wouldn't want to use Bennett with her, so you would probably look for, non-overload teams. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you would just use Fischl or something with her. Yeah, I came into this video very much so ready to just go off and be like, wow, look at these teams. But honestly, I don't see it. Chaska? No. I haven't used them together, right? It's not like my Arlecchino. I've used Arlecchino with Iansan. With Chaska, you don't want to, or you don't move, right? You can move, but you don't, right? You'd rather have, stay on target, stay in Bennett's ring. I would have to use it and, actually use it, but I wouldn't say that it's amazing. But also, let's look at this team. This is the current, what I would consider Chaska's, best overall team. And the team doesn't have Xilonen on it to begin with. Is Xilonen, now, I think, yeah, I would have to ask, is Xilonen still the best support? That's what I was saying before Iansan launched. And now, I think I'm still gonna have to say it because she lost one team, this team, or not one, definitely more than one. I don't see any relevant ones, right? I don't see, basically, I don't see any teams that Xilonen lost. I'm still gonna, Raiden, I'm not gonna trust her to have the Iansan stacks, and consuming stamina just so you can get a little bit more of a buff is so not worth it, right? You have to do kind of balance the, offensive and defensive side of certain things, right? I don't know how much Iansan really hurt, Xilonen. Because I was really ready to come in here, and as soon as I started looking at my character list, a lot of these characters stopped making sense with Iansan, and I was like, huh, so people just been talking, and they ain't had nothing to say. And that's basically it. Because it was simply just, like, if I go ahead and look at, comments that may... I did a good search for the Xilonen hate comments. I actually couldn't find them. I know I have replied to a couple, but I can't find them through my filtering search. So, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of comments to go through, and the comments happened initially a couple weeks ago, so it makes sense why I still can't find any, because Xilonen is a very popular mentioned character, and Iansan, I mean, people have just been talking about her for a bit, and I can't really find the people who said, Iansan's gonna replace Xilonen on a load of teams. But I mean, like, even on this team has a chance. I will be giving this a dedicated video. This team has a chance, because if you look at how Risley attacks, look, he just goes forward every single time. If you can have Risley go forward, you're good. And Iansan may end up being better. However, that's not, like... However, as soon as you go up against a boss who can't be moved a lot, yeah, you're probably dead. You're probably dead. I'm very surprised. I simply looked at my parties, and I'm like, Iansan, she's good. She is good. However, way overrated for so many people. I swear, so many people. I swear, it's not like I tell you that I've replied directly to the comments that said this. I tell you, but yeah, so many people, wanted to sit there and say that Iansan was going to replace Xilonen on 90% of our teams, and I quite literally can only think of one, and it's just this one. Like, it's just this one, and even then, sure, she got replaced on her best team. This does matter. Like, I'm not going to try and downplay it. This matters. This is the best team in the game right now, and Xilonen's not on it, right? That does matter. However, in realistic terms, I would not use Bennett and Iansan on the same team anymore. I just wouldn't. Unless I'm running Nevi on the first half, I'm just not doing it. I will not be using Iansan and Bennett on the same team. They are too valuable to have on the same team. It is literally like, it's kind of the reverse of, having Xilonen and Kazuo on the same team. But honestly, Xilonen just replaces Kazuo on so many teams, I'm gonna be honest. And also, Kazuo just isn't used on a lot of teams anymore, right? You just have Xilonen, as you can see here. I just have Xilonen on like 90% of my teams. And I don't see it, man, right? Like, especially with a character like Arlecchino, you're not gonna want to spend that extra stamina to move around the whole time and also disrupt your combo. And also, I mean, well, disrupt your combo to a certain extent. Like, there is a combo with Arlecchino that you just don't, do, right? You just don't, you have to, sprint out of and stuff. That is something with Arlecchino. However, I don't think it's enough. I don't think that it's enough to warrant getting rid of Xilonen on this team. I couldn't test it if I wanted to, but I'll test, Iansan eventually with, Arlecchino. But I just don't think that Iansan, her buff is going to last long enough for me to actually care. Because we do have Xilonen giving the Pyro Res Shred, so that's definitely going to work. Like, a character like Itto, this is his best team right now, I think, right? I'm pretty confident that this is his best team. Iansan isn't going to help here, because Iansan just is worse. Like, you're not going to get the Geo Res, you're not going to get the Pyro Res, you're not going to get the, Hydro Res. All of those Reses, all the damage that you miss, especially not buffing Furina at all, or maybe you could buff Furina, maybe do, Furina QE, then Xilonen, or not Xilonen, then Iansan. But I'm just looking at this and I'm like, no. And then don't forget, you have to make sure that Itto's moving the entire time, which he kind of does do, but I don't know if he does it fast enough. When he does his charge attacks, I should be able to just so when Itto does his charge attacks, you can see he kind of moves forward a little bit, right? But I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough. And yeah, just looking at it, no, I haven't tested every single character on my account. Obviously, I haven't tested Itto, but I can pretty confidently say that Itto is not going to be a character that Iansan is going to be, used with, because Iansan's not going to give him a buff, right? So yeah, I was really prepared to say oh, Xilonen got so hurt by this, but it's more of a, this is the team that I would do. This is the team that I currently use because I use Arlecchino in the first half of whatever I'm doing at this point, or first, second half, whichever one. But like, this is the team that I run Mavuika on because this team is, you know, the better team overall in my opinion, because I think Iansan serves her purpose very, very well on this team. And I think, you know, while she doesn't give as much buff as Bennett just due to, you know, her being not as high constellation, she just works so well with Mavuika comparatively to other DPS characters I might be running, like Itto and, you know, Chaska. Well, I shouldn't say Chaska. Still, haven't tested her. I do think that this is a possibility that Iansan could be better, right? Instead of Bennett, that would give you the 3 typings. That would give you the extra damage on this, wherever it is. This, I think. Or no, it's just like the 100% chance of conversion, right? That's what that is. Or something. I don't know, honestly. Or no, is it this? Yeah, this. Yeah, 65% there. So you'll have all of that. And you'll be able to do a really nasty Chaska team, which will be really fun to do. But other than that, I don't know, like, you know, I'll be testing that soon. Probably tomorrow's video. Yeah, and I mean, like, Larissa, yeah, sure, she works way better with, you know, Iansan than Bennett, obviously. Like, if I had to say, like, oh, who am I giving, you know, like, that's the thing. I'm talking about Iansan or Bennett. I'm not talking about, you know, oh, do we need Xilonen on this team? No, we're talking about Iansan or Bennett because Iansan and Bennett are probably the 2 highest demand characters in the game just because their attack buffing is utterly insane. And then also you have scroll on Iansan for the extra damage bonus, right? So it's hard to say, like, you know, so it's hard to say, like, oh, wow, Iansan, man, she really hurt Xilonen when, honestly, I think really all this did was benefit the game. Like, you could say that she hurt Xilonen. I'm not gonna disagree with you because, like, Xilonen now isn't on the best team in the game. However, in practicality wise, unless you're running Nevi or Mulanni is another good HP scaler, you're probably gonna be using Iansan or Bennett on your other team, right? You know, Alhaitham, maybe, right? Maybe you're using Alhaitham. Even Alhaitham, would he want Iansan? Because she's Electro, right? So you just have sort of a, you know, Alhaitham, Furina, Kuki, and that sort of, you know, situation, and you have that go. I don't know. Alhaitham mains, tell me in the comments. There's very few teams that don't want Bennett or Iansan, right? Like, even Zhao Plunge, like, Zhao Plunge doesn't want either of them, right? Like, that's a good one to, you know, say. Like, Zhao, he just wants basically all Animo characters and Furina, right? That's basically where Zhao is at right now. And honestly, you know, I guess Ayaka, but even Ayaka, you wouldn't, no, Ayaka, it depends what you're doing with Ayaka, right? We can even look at Risley real quick. I can't test right because I have 60% crit damage from my C2 Xilonen. I could easily, like, I could see it being either way. I could see it being Xilonen's better on this team because she's able to, you know, react with the cryo and stuff, and basically that gives you the res shred for both the pyro and the cryo, whereas, you know, you react with Iansan to the cryo, or maybe you do Mavuika's E-skill beforehand, but I think Mavuika's E-skill is a little bit too short for Risley if you use her at C0, so I don't know how well that would work. But, like, it's tough. I want to test out. I will test out. But other than that, like, I can't say that Iansan truly has hurt Xilonen basically at all, because I feel like for me on my account, I feel like Iansan didn't hurt my Xilonen. It doesn't make me, you know, be like, oh man, I wish I just, you know, saved for like more constellations on Mavuika, right? Like, that's not what I feel when I think of Iansan. I'm like, oh my god, I can run Arlecchino and Mavuika together, right? Or I can, well, sort of at the same time, I'll say. Not together, because together means on the same team, you know. Fun facts with me. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Overall, Iansan, very, very W character, and I feel like she absolutely has made her, you know, impact on Genshin Impact, right? I didn't mean to say it like that, or make the pun out of it, but it ended up just happening. And I made the pun, and I just went with it. Yeah. But yeah, she definitely hurt, but like, it kind of just, it's like Xilonen fell over and then got back up. That's what happened with Iansan. That's how I feel like what happened. Like, it's like a little road bump, right? Little road bump, like, oh, sorry, you're on the wrong team, or you're on the worst team now. So, like, hurtful, yes, but, you know, devastating. You know, Xilonen lost most of her teams. No, I don't think so. If you disagree, then feel free to leave a comment telling me how much of an idiot I am and how you know, Iansan massively devastated Xilonen. But as far as I can see, I just, you know, practicality-wise, I'm not hurt by this at all. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.